Hello folks, well here we are, week 15, oh my god, it'll soon be week 52, who knows, probably week 53, but we're here, we are again. I've been to the hairdressers, so I'm human again, and also Lucy's been to the hairdressers this evening, her hair looks stunning. Here we are, give a big hand to Lucy. Hello, my little box watchers. Oh, goodness me. Time gets stolen when you're faffing around like a madman. How are we all doing? Oh, very, very good to see you all. I've got an error message already. But hello and welcome to The Lucy Show. I'd like to say hello and welcome to all possible new watchers because this is our first show that's going to be going through Joke Pit Live. There, just there. That means stuff. So welcome along. Hello. My name is Lucy. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lucy Orchard. I'm a comedian and I live in Devon. You may hear a slight Welsh twang. But yes, I am hiding out in Devon. Hiding? You've been hiding for an awfully long time.
Oh, and we've already got spam on there saying if I click this button, I'm going to become famous. Well, I think
famous or infamous, darling?
Famous, I think. There we go. Hey, Chris is with us. Oh, I think that's Hi Lucy's mum. But although I can answer to Lucy. And oh, there we go. Noel's in the house already. So hello and welcome to everybody. So we have a little tradition on the Lucy Show where I ask you all to share this video, please. And it's quite simple. Whilst I ask you to share the video, Mum pours me a drink.
Oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah, my mum is also an unofficial producer. I just touch up the old makeup. When I say touch up, I mean put on the bare minimum. And this is the challenge of the night because the screen is back to front. So it's kind of like the Krypton factor. Can you put mascara on? I've only stabbed myself in the face once with the mascara. Do you remember? I think that was week 7.
Oh my God, I didn't even get the gin out.
Honest to God. 1 second. She's just clinking and clanging away. So yes. Oh, we've got hey from Erin. Erin, you naughty girl. You rearranged things just to be able to be part of this show. So you naughty little bugger, you. Yeah, so please all give this video a little share. 1 second. I just need to open the tonic because I'm living with an arthritic. There we go. That's it. Yes. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the show, it's a lovely little bit of entertainment where we move along in sections, and they may not be the kind of sections that you're expecting from a comedy show, but you never expect the Lucy Show unless you know it's on every week, Tuesdays at 9. 1 second. Let me just check with the gin. 80% gin, 20% tonic. What for the show on Joke Pit? Like I'm angry and start ranting.
I don't know why you complain so much.
She's got a heavy wrist, she has. She's got a heavy wrist. But I would just like to say thank you to all my regular viewers. Can't believe we made it to week 15. It is ridiculous. Let me just check again. That's a bit better. That doesn't strip your teeth off. And then I have to, now, for those of you familiar with the game that are playing the drinking game, when Mum interrupts the show, when she chips in, 1 second, she's a different tonic to me because, quote unquote, she says I'm drinking the common shit. Ray, is it really that bad again? Sorry, I've been having terrible trouble with my microphone. So this is fun. I'm going to disconnect my expensive... Ray, let me know if that's any better. Mum, you might need to speak up if you want to interrupt my viewing. Okay. Right. So, moving along, okay, a lot of people... If you've never seen this show before, just go with it. Go with it. It is fun. You will enjoy it. But I do a Joe Wicks update. And the running joke has been where I shout for my kids. Jemima! William! I listen back and then I realise I don't have any fucking kids, so therefore there's no need for a Joe Wicks update. But Joe Wicks has stopped doing his fitness because, you know, look after your own kids. He's knackered, bless him. And I was going to stop the Joe Wicks update, but he started doing stuff. So what he usually does is he's been doing sort of, I'm exercising your kids and I'm being fit and healthy. Well, what he started doing now is he's given up helping the kids. He's done a life hack. Now, I absolutely detest the word life hack because what is a life hack? What we would call a tip. But yes, his life hack is now, in order to improve your G&T, put fruit in the freezer and use that instead of ice. Darling, we've been doing that for fucking years. The only reason why I haven't done it tonight is because we're running behind, like every week. So yes, cheers everybody. If you haven't got a glass or a can on the go, drink responsibly. Although as the quote goes, I don't drink to have responsibility. That's better. Right, okay, so this is for most people the most exciting part of the show. What they love is the village update. So for those of you that don't live in a village, living in a village is absolutely brilliant because you don't take yourself as seriously when you live in a village. So we start off strong by just saying, I'm with Joe Pitt and I'm really excited. Joe Pitt, like that. Oh, Steve Dunn's in the house, one of my very good friends. Oh, lovely stuff. Be safe. Because for those of you that don't know, before I was a comedian, I was a truck driver. So my target audience are people over 30. And truck drivers and the global scene of comedians. So for those of you that were watching last week, I know that you're all absolutely excited to know what has been happening with the tale of the curious chicken. So in a couple of villages over, there is a chicken. We think it may be from one of the chicken farms, but looks a bit too much of a good breed. But there's a curious tale of the roaming chicken. And it's been pecking people's cars. Some people have recommended that they can look after it in their Aga. Somebody put an advert for a slow cooker in response to it. But it's still on the loose. This chicken is absolutely running the village. And I think that's fucking brilliant. That's the kind of runaway story I want to hear around here. That's the level of what we do with our villages. Yes, the Roman chicken. So the next story is I'm on TikTok. And I'm nearly at 100 followers. So I'm pleased and confused by TikTok because a picture of me showing my cats playing in the bath with a hairband has had over 150 views. The picture of me doing the Juliet challenge, the dance challenge, on TikTok has had 1. So what TikTok is saying is I am incredibly less interesting than my cats. I don't know what to do. I'm getting followers, but they only love my cat videos. And before anyone says anything about videos about pussies, I'm getting in there first. So yes, there's one of me dancing, and there's only 1 view, and are they lost? Yes, the chicken is lost. Not the people looking at my dance video. They must be bloody lost. But I don't know what to do. I've only seen naked people on TikTok. Stephen, what's your algorithm looking like? I thought that TikTok was all just children. But I don't know, maybe it's because I put my date of birth in there. But I've only got hashtag over 30s on TikTok, hashtag over 40s on TikTok, hashtag not too old for TikTok. There seems to be an incredible amount of handsome men with salt and pepper hair and symmetrical faces sort of taking their tops off. And I think good for you. And I'm a big follower of this one channel that's mainly these Marines in Alabama that take their clothes off. They're not naked. Booming shot. If you are playing the drinking game, booming shot, that's a shot. But God bless TikTok for those of you that are new to this show, my brother loves to chip in. It is a full family show, so my mother chips in, she's my sound engineer, and my brother likes to welcome me every time I say something. So yes, but there's a button I can press that says notify you when you've got 100,000 followers. Do you know what? I think I'll know. What a redundant button. About as redundant as the indicators on a BMW. Do you get me? But I'd like to say...
Do they have indicators on a BMW? They don't use them very much.
They sell better unused. Right. But I want to say a big thank you to my buddy Pikachu, because I've had a bit of a... No. Yes, Noel, you do chip in whenever you want. You're worse than... In fact, Noel, you're going on the drinking game. If my brother chips in, if my mother chips in, or there's booming shot, that gets you a drink. So the next thing is Pokemon has been distracting me, because some of you may or may not know that I lost my cat a couple of weeks ago. When I said lost my cat, it wasn't lost. It was murdered by an arsehole up on that road. And Pokemon has been brilliant for just mindless... just playing. I can't think about anything. I just want to phase out. And it's been brilliant. But the funniest thing was, I wanted to continue playing last night, but I didn't have any Pokeballs, so I needed a roll of Pokestop. And that was at 1:30 at night. So my mother wouldn't let me go because she said it was dangerous. So she came with me to the end of the road. Now I'd love to know exactly what assailant my mother was going to see off that I couldn't. So there we were, pajamas on, massive torch, down the road, spin the spots, and came back. But yes, that is what you get up to on my kind of village. Oh, who be going there, a friend or foe? Pikachu, he said.
But there were no helicopters.
No helicopters. I mean, it was the first time Mum and I ventured out in the middle of the night that wasn't to see what the police were chasing. Thus proving that we are every day getting closer to being those women that die at the beginning of a horror movie. And all they were left were Birkenstocks. Hey, Mum, no swearing.
What did he say? So I got no comments, you see.
No, but you'll see what comes up on the screen.
I know.
Right.
I know, but I like to have a bit of both.
Another drink, if you think that my mother needs to interrupt me with IT questions. That's not the point. She's your... I just imagine it was sort of like the Pink Panther. Like I'm spinning the Pokestop and sort of catching dragoninas or whatever they're called, dragonions. And my mum's defending me like Kato was jumping out from the hedges.
I could do that.
Yes, my mum could do that.
I go to yoga, you know.
I'd like to tell a happy story from my actual village. And it was a couple of weeks ago. A woman woke up in the morning, went into her daughter's room, and there was a cat asleep on her pillow. Which is fine, but it wasn't their cat. It had climbed in through the bedroom window. And they thought, well, maybe it'll bugger off. And there's loads of pictures. I didn't show them because obviously, you know, that's rude to show somebody else's house and cat. And God bless, this cat was just moved in. Just everywhere it wanted to be, just lying on the side like, this is my new home now. So they did it for a couple of days, and then they got it microchip scanned. So hallelujah for microchips. And the cat owners have come to collect it because the cat is originally from North Devon.
How the hell did it get down here?
North Devon is about 15 miles away.
15?
Maybe more, 20?
30?
30?
40? 40?
It's far. To be honest, we don't really venture up there much. It's where the wildling lives. They can do the 12 times table on their own hands. Oh, to my viewers in to my apologies to my viewers in North Devon. I hear it's awful up there. Credit to Victoria Wood for that joke. So yes, they think that the cat must have stowed away in a delivery van.
Oh.
Because I wouldn't walk the link road, and cats are tiny, so it takes much longer. But yeah, I mean, that is unbelievable. So if there's a message, get your cats microchipped, especially if you get a Cardo. So
is that a breed, darling?
So little segue of finding things where they shouldn't be. Somebody managed to rescue this. Unfortunately, what's the technical term? Oh, that's right. Some little shits pushed our bin, not our bin, you know, I know I've got delusions of grandeur, but it's not our bin, but it is our canal as a community. Sneaking in there. But yes, some little shits pushed the bin in the canal. I don't know for what point.
Well, they've only sort of moved it down the
pontoon.
The pontoon.
They pushed the bin down the pontoon. But you know what I want to highlight is finally one of the bins got fucking emptied. Little bit of a local gag there. But it's amazing. You know, there's so much for kids to do around here. You know, point at things, walk. We do have a play park, but I suppose it's not exactly aimed at that age. But I don't ever remember when I
have been home from school for a long time. They've probably all gone feral.
Yeah, they've gone feral, so they started pushing bins.
They're bored.
Pushing bins in the canal.
Gosh, they must be awfully good at school.
I know. And also, this, talking of bins, this was down, I've got to live my left and my right. This was down on the floor by the train station. And the reason why I took a picture of it is because it was about 20 foot from a bin. You know,
obviously foreigners.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
people from over the border.
Yeah, Yelton, Tavistock. I mean, well done, you know, for using PPE because you have to. It's statutory on train stations. But ultimately, guys, you know, you take your face mask off. Oh, it's so heavy. Let's throw it on the floor in a beautiful village. You're welcome to use our trains, but you're also welcome to use the bloody bins. Dirty bastards. Again, even though I've been going through my Facebook advertising algorithms, we've got the return of the pelvic exerciser.
Oh my God.
I don't know, maybe because I'm 39, but I mean, it should see that I don't upset people with ridiculous pictures of stupid fucking children. 1 second. When I was a kid, Disney's did a film about pets crossing America. Yes, that's true, but none as dangerous as a link road, Ray. And I like putting this up with Noel. Now the pictures sent earlier, it makes sense. Yes, I have to send my brother the pictures so they're up in the air and it's easier to grab. So I use my brother. So my brother just gets a barrage of very strange images. What this being one of them. So what it is, it's a game. You insert it, and what you do is it's got a little game on it that's very reminiscent of Pong. And in order to get the ball through the maze, you need to clench. Now, what I don't understand, right, is it says 671G. Does that mean that you can hold that many grams? I don't understand what the G stands for, but I mean, there is a G up there, but I don't know if they've ever given a numerical rating.
I can't even think of what the G would stand for.
Is it grams? You know? Oh, you know, you can hang a weight off it. But yeah, thank you. Last week, Facebook was selling me these print pictures on false nails. That's not really my bag. So they've upped it. They've brought it back to the pelvic floor exercises. So, you know, good for you, Facebook. I mean, there's not one advert that comes up about gin, cats, and trucks, and not necessarily in that order. That's just amazing. So that is the village update for this week. I absolutely adore it. When we get exactly, I would say it's entertainment for all the family, but I mean, I suppose it just means it helps your mum not piss herself.
Oh, thank you.
Not you.
Oh,
I meant generic. Yes, so that was the village update. So for those of you that don't live in a village, it really is everything that you imagine living in a village could be like. It's been amazing. Makes you do Kegel exercises so that you don't do wee by mistake. I mean, having it, oh my God, can you imagine if the wee actually did a Kegel? It took me ages to understand what a Kegel was. The Americans, they openly use this term, Kegel. We don't. Now would just be called a pelvic floor exercise. I always thought Kegel, isn't a Kegel where you tense your butt cheeks? No? I'm sure you'll let me know if I'm right or wrong. Right, so we move on to
oh dear.
shoe of the week. I like to surprise my mum because she's not paying attention. Producer, bring my shoes.
Coming.
They're not my shoes again. I'm trying to skip match it up because ultimately I haven't got that many shoes.
They're a bit dirty on the front there. Never mind.
We're on a time limit. Right, so these little beauties, these are my mother's wedding shoes. Ta-da! Very pretty with the sequins. And the reason why I wanted to highlight these is because each week my mother gives me another insane pair of shoes to share. And contrary to popular belief, my mother does actually have heels that she's worn. She wore them to the chapel. They walked down the chapel in their sandals because it was more romantic because they used to go off to walks together. And then they put them back on. But yes, they are, let's just say, even though they're not very big, they did cost a lot.
But
I could knock them up. I could knock them up in arts and crafts, I reckon. They sell these down the market.
I don't think so.
But yes, that is shoe of the week. For those of you that wonder what shoe of the week was, when I started this show 15 weeks ago, actually, we had 2 breaks. So, I mean, we've been going about 17 weeks. It was just one of the fun things that I brought up. And I didn't realise that we weren't going to have a cure. And I didn't realise there wasn't going to be a pandemic. So I didn't realise this section would be going on for that long. So I think I need to hurry up with a new section for shoe of the week because it is quite... Oh. Right, producer, see?
Yes, coming.
Stuff from my room. Stuff from my room. So this, okay, for some of you that know, I used to be a truck driver and I used to go off with bands. Now, Steve, who is watching, might recognise a bright pink pair of sunglasses and a bright pink lanyard from I can't remember the name of the fucking concert. But yes, one of the bands that we were on tour with did a European tour. And it was amazing because it was set in a disused, or at least, a disused, a disused quarry in Germany called Ferropolis. Think Ferris and Opolis. And what it was, I didn't realise how Devonian I've gone this week. What it was, Babbers. So this festival, we turned up in the middle of the night. So we didn't really know. It was sort of, we turned up at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was just sunrise, sorry, and it was amazing. So I'm going to show you some pictures. So this is an overview. Those are all huge pieces of equipment, so if you could imagine, that's the size of a football stadium in the middle there. And what they've done is, instead of taking all the equipment down and scrapping it, they've left it there, but they've turned it into a huge festival arena. So when our boys were headlining, obviously, that's what it looks like. It's amazing. Our Arctics look tiny. I honestly, it was when you've been a European truck driver, you get to see things and go places. And the most amazing thing is that I got to do it a little bit better because I was doing it with bands, yes, I'm a very lucky girl. And they're a lovely band, and I was with a lovely pair of blokes, Steve and Roger. And I'm very, very fortunate. And yes, we turned up and they gave us all this bright pink swag. So the three of us were walking around like we're the band, not the truck drivers. I'm going to take these off because I am allergic to people that wear sunglasses after sundown. You know who you are.
Oh, what about the ones that go into shops with sunglasses? I always wonder if they actually know what they're going to buy, or if it's just guesswork.
We passed a car the other day, and they had the sunroof down, and it was amazing because it was on the turn. It was very cold. It was a very windy day, and for those of you that know what it's like to drive in a convertible, even without wind, it's your hair's everywhere. And the sun was pretty much going down, and the knobhead was still wearing sunglasses. And it was just sort of like, is that his wife or his secretary? How many cliche ticks can this man do in one day?
Well, sports car for a start.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't a very well-known brand. 1 second. First gin of the day always goes down super easy. That makes the show more enjoyable.
Thank you.
That'll just get my producer to get that. Honestly, everybody should have one. So the next one, birthday section. Boom, boom. I've gone a little bit into James Bond on that one. I do like to sing my own, write my own theme songs, sing my own theme songs. Let's see who we got a comment from. Let me have a look. So you don't get caught checking out women getting noticed, I suppose. But it's that sundown. You've got to wonder, is that not a driving risk? Much better. Well done. She gets really good at it after a couple of goes, but after a couple of gins, I'm not as fussy. When you said disused quarry, I thought you meant like the ones they shot all those Doctor Who and Blake 7 episodes. No. This was a disused quarry on crack. It was huge. So we move on to the birthday section. Now I want to say a big shout out because some of you may have seen that I posted. It was this time 6 years ago that I was in a comic convention, and I just realised how much I miss comic conventions because at the beginning of this year, just before they said nobody's allowed to go anywhere or do anything, I said to my mum, by the end of the year, I'm going to go to a comic convention. that went well. Thanks for that, everyone. I mean, it is full of young boys who are probably the least likely to have washed their hands. And sometimes it can be a little bit overpowering with the aromas. But it is an absolutely cracking family of friends to have. I do love my comic conventions. And Rob Williams, not the guy that's famous for eating sandwiches with his feet, Rob Williams, the comic book guy, he... Sorry, Ray's just chipping in. Vorsprung durch Tori. They do, don't they? It's his birthday, and every couple of years, I think he gets a little invite, because there's actually a Rob Williams who's famous for eating sandwiches with his feet, and they write to him and they go, "Can you come to our festival and eat sandwiches with your feet?" And he's like, "Sorry, I'm the one that writes comics." I'm so sorry.
But he could draw a sandwich.
He could draw a sandwich. On the term of that, it would be Stuart Perkins' birthday as well, who passed away a couple of years ago, but everyone knows him and his Facebook still comes up. And he used to do the continuity for Judge Dredd. He read so much Judge Dredd that John Michael would actually, they'd get in touch with him and say, "Have we done this storyline, or did this person do that?" So I mean, he was an absolutely gone but not forgotten, Stu. Jamie Nemeth, who is a Welsh stand-up comedian that I know from the Refaz family. It's his birthday. Jess Smith, who is a comedian over in America that I know from the Drop Club family. It's her birthday as well. So happy birthday, little one. I'll say little one. She's probably 19, but to me, anything under 29 is little. And Doreen Lowe, who is, I know her from the Professional Ladies Driving Association, and she drives vintage buses, you know, like the ones you get in Agatha.
Oh, really?
Like the ones you get in Agatha Christie, those sort of lovely old green Art Deco looking ones. But yes, happy birthday to all those. If it's your birthday and I don't know about it, please get in touch and let me know, so it means you get a shout out on the birthday section. Birthday sections aren't just for children, you know. It's for the people that pay taxes and can buy their own booze, you know.
But actually, birthdays aren't just for Christmas. They're for life.
Birthdays are for life. Thank you, Mum. TV and radio, TV and radio. This is where you get to find out what to watch and what not to watch. Start off with the Archers on radio. We're getting into it. We're actually getting into the new format. I mean, we're not going to harp on. There's very little excuse why it's still not back to normal. You could ring it in. But
it's like I said, most of the actors are over 70, so they probably haven't been allowed out yet. It starts from this week for them.
Oh, it's starting back to normal.
Well, no, but 70-year-olds can enter the world again.
Oh, they're releasing the septuagenarians. Noel's got in early. Yes, Noel, it will be on the review. 99. So, my TV and radio, we're going to start off with the fact that I do watch Brooklyn 99, and I don't seem to understand it. It's sort of like that magic rice bowl that never empties. I can't get to the end of it. I think even when we're doing the Lucy show, week 37, Brooklyn 99 is still going to be on the list. But we started the week by watching the 70th?
Yes.
Yeah, watching the 70th birthday celebration program on ITV of the Princess Royal. And, she's amazing. She's amazing. It goes all the way. The most beautiful pictures of her is a blonde, curly-haired little thing. I'm assuming my brother's talking about Brooklyn 99 and not the Princess Royal. Either way. And she does the most engagements per year, over 500 engagements a year. She'll bang out about 4 or 5 in a day, and she'll be working morning, noon, and night. But what I couldn't get over is the pictures of her in her early 20s. It's Zara. She's stunning. She's been on the front of Vogue, but the fact is, she is just Zara Phillips. She is the identical. I know it's her mother, but Jesus Christ, was there a man involved, or are they just in the back cloning? Then we on Channel 5, we love a TV movie, like a nice cheesy detective one. So we watched the Martha's Vineyard Mysteries. Now, wondering what that's about. Do you remember the gardener that slept with Eva Longoria in Desperate Housewives? Jesse something or other. He's in it and he does stuff. He's very handsome and he solves a crime. He's a policeman that retired because he got a bullet.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. We attempted to start watching Norseman, which is meant to be a spoof on Vikings. It's good. It is good. It just wasn't good enough.
We gave it a shot.
We gave it a shot. We gave a whole episode a shot. We may have even done 1.5. But the thing is, the scenery, they filmed it all in Goreland, and then they moved on to the Steve, if you're listening, they did shoot some of them. Do you remember we had to wait for the tunnel to be opened when we were next to that Viking village in Norway. It's but it's and it's just south of Bergen if you were going on the bottom coast, but it's beautiful. The scenery.
Oh, the scenery was amazing.
Scenery was amazing, but I'd probably get as much enjoyment if I just watched a documentary on Norway. There's this many jokes, but the episode is this long. Watch it, give it your own try. But yeah, Norseman it was.
It was hard work.
It was hard work. Then we finished off episode 2. Now we can work out if there's episode 2 or episode 3, how many episodes there are. But Miriam Margolyes, Almost Australian. And there is an amazing, she's in an RV and she drives up the Central Road. And I think she does, I can't remember how many miles she does because I remember them saying it and I thought there's no way she's driven that.
Wasn't it something like 1,500 or something?
I think it was 1,500, which is about 5 night trunks in a row.
No, she would have been flown off by helicopter.
Yeah. Really lovely looking RV, which is because they do these little tiny porta cabins as the houses for people that have got low income housing over there. And her RV.
They're called Aborigines.
No, but in the truck stops, they also had it. But yes, for people with low income housing or for truck stops and stuff, they have like what looks like a half porta cabin as a little hotel thing. And her RV was about 1.5 sizes of that. But what she did, she was amazing because she paid attention to going, what do they call them? First generation? Because they don't call themselves Australians, they call themselves Aborigines, but they've got another word for it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But yes, she made sure she didn't just go places that had white Australians. She went and paid her respect to the elders and learnt about them. And
they all know her from Harry Potter.
Everyone knows her from Harry Potter. She's a delightful woman. She just walks up and looks you straight in the eye and says whatever she wants.
Yeah, she went up to that one fella and she said, "Why are you so fat?"
Yeah. And she said, "What shall I have for lunch? Not what you're having because I don't want to be your size." Her partner is Australian, so she lives over there a lot. And they made her an honorary. They gave her citizenship, and she wanted to learn what it was to become Australian. And she's brilliant. And they took her to an Australian football game, and she went, "Oh, this is my first time." And they went, "Why?" She went, "Because I can't stand this game." But can I just say, when she received her citizenship, she wasn't wearing trainers on that day. She smartened right up. We also, I say we, nothing to do with her. I'm watching The Umbrella Academy, but I realised I had forgotten everything. 1 second. Does sound like my mum. So I'm watching The Umbrella Academy, but in order to watch season 2, I have to watch season 1 because I couldn't remember an entire thing. I know that one of them's got superpowers that she didn't know about, and ends up wearing a white suit. I know that the woman who played Addison in Grey's Anatomy is in there and plays amazing, like she plays a boss bitch. And I know that there was a talking monkey. that endeth my memory. I also knew that Tom Hopper was in it. Do you remember Tom Hopper? He was the one that was in Merlin that had arms so big the chainmail had to be cut off.
Oh.
Percival, we love you, Tom. I couldn't remember a thing, so I've had to watch the first season, and it's amazing. I've watched it. I must have not been paying attention. I missed most of it. It's such a brilliant show. We watched on ITV The Trouble with Maggie Coles from Southwest lovely Dawn French. 6 episodes. Keep going on the first one. It is dry on the first one. It's so slow. It's like walking through treacle. We nearly tapped out, but we ploughed on. We kept going. It was brilliant. So yes, it was quite outstanding. Really enjoyed it, and I don't know how they're going to do a season 2 because it's all.
Will they do a season 2?
If it works well.
I don't know.
If they can get her to write it, they'll obviously do it if they can get her to write it. But I don't see how they can move on to a season 2 because it's all kind of tied up. There was no cliffhanger at the end.
Oh, maybe.
Well, like a second interview.
No, they could still do stuff.
Yeah,
because they could follow on from what went on in the first. Tricky, but possible.
I'm amazed you must clearly watched all the serial killer shows out there to move on to other stuff. Right, we have double checked. There is no Midsummer we haven't covered. My brother has pointed out that there is a new NCIS New Orleans and Bull for those of you that are fans of Donoso from NCIS. So we'll have to have a look at that. Oh yeah, he does. Oh yeah. We've also for those of you that want to watch it, then I'm reviewing the Mike Bibley. Oh, Ray, help me out this. Mike Biblioga. I can't say his name when I'm reviewing his show for the kitchen sink, but I can't pronounce his name. Mike Biblioga. I can't do it.
And one of the things on the professional bakery.
Oh, we finally got to can't speak. We find I don't know why. The words are so difficult and they're in my mouth. We've just finished the professional bake-off, where quite frankly there was only one winner. The others really let themselves down.
But the winners were Cocorico, which is in Llandaff.
Yes.
And it's a patisserie beyond.
Yes, it is. Right, I knew that Ray would help me out. Right, I'm reviewing for next week Birbiglia. Mike Birbiglia, my girlfriend's boyfriend. Yes, thank you, Ray. I don't know what I'd do without you. And also, if you like Good Watch, the Weekly Bazaar, and I'll put the details up at the end. We've started filming because it's a podcast, but we started recording the actual Zoom.
Oh my God, you'll have to not wear pajamas.
Not if you look at this week's that they put up. I've got wet hair and an old t-shirt. My friend Al that's on it, he looks like some kid wearing big earphones, like he'd be like a kid, like a child at a festival. And Shane, because he's a microbiologist, they obviously are only using artificial light in there. Maybe they could put him in a position next to a window. He's so translucent, you could see through him. We look like a right motley crew. But you can go on the USUK Podcast Network YouTube channel, and you can watch our recordings of the podcast. So they're just the raw footage put up. But yes, so it moves on to every little girl's favourite bit. Truck Stop Review. And we're still in the UK for this one. So let me just bring up my fancy photos. So I had a roving reporter this week stay there. And I said, well, seeing as you're there, you couldn't take some pictures for me, could you? So it's just off exit 12, junction 12 of the M6. And you turn onto the A5 towards Cannock. And you'll be able to follow the signs because there are black truck stop signs following it that way because I've been there before. But it's the Road King Hollies, the new Hollies truck stop. And I want to say a big thank you to Roger, my roving truck reporter, who was there. And he met up with Bond whilst he was there as well. But the brilliant thing is, refresh the page, Mum, or sorry, tech issues on the other side of the room because watching it live isn't enough. But yes, the Hollies, it's beautiful. There are a few, few muddy bits at the back because I don't think the hard standing goes all the way. But from the bit you can see there, it is really lovely and flat, especially if you're moving early in the morning. They put you there just so that you make less noise. But they do proper meals. It's very similar, I think, to the Red Lion, but just a little less raucous. But
the floor looks very cracked.
That for a truck stop is good.
Oh, right.
That's flat.
Okay.
You can be cracked as long as you're flat. I don't understand if that can be used into some sort of rap slang. But inside, they've really gone to town on doing it up. And the ladies' washing facilities in there are fantastic. The showers, I think, until I had closed on, I think they even maybe have had a gym upstairs, but I'd need to look that up for fact. But this is the bit that I love. It's got the smallest wall of truck tat, but it is amazing. I absolutely adore the truck tat that they do there. It is brilliant. And yeah, if you're tired, you come in. There's a woman with a love, not to be sexist, but usually there's a woman in a truck stop. There's a woman with a lovely smile, and they can get you a nice, hot, decent meal for a decent price. And you can either sit where everyone's talking, or you can go around the side where it's just the TV's playing and just sit to yourself quietly. And I absolutely love a truck stop like that. So well done. So just take that off so you can see my face again. But yes, it is on Snap, and there is fuel. So they've got a really great website.
I would imagine that's essential in a truck stop, having fuel.
If they're near to a fuel station, you don't need to, but it is another way for them to make money if they've got their own bundle.
All right.
Yeah. So most places do. And then we move on to Ask Lucy, one of my favourite sections, because I do get sent in questions. If you've got any questions for Ask Lucy, send them now and I'll add them to the section. But it's amazing. So I got asked my favourite album, and I don't really listen to albums. I've become that spoiled nation where I don't even buy music anymore. If I want it, I will just put on the song I want on YouTube. So I had to go back in my mind, and it'd have to be Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, because it's one of the last albums I understand where the end of the song starts, and I know the start of the next song.
Wow, right.
When you've listened to an album that long, and I know for a fact it's 9 minutes and 24 seconds for silence on the last track before it gets to the hidden track. That was for me. I got sent in the question, what's my favourite TV show as a kid, like TV kids show? And it's Hey Arthur, because I watch that now. My favourite kids TV show when I was a kid would have been Lovely Lady Locks or Gem. But as an adult, my favourite kids show is Arthur, because I said, hey! And you can find that on the iPlayer still right now today. Being asked what my perfect holiday is, and I'd have to say it's going to have to be all-inclusive Gran Canaria, because there are no mosquitoes on Gran Canaria. So you get sun, sea, sangria, but no mosquitoes. Nobody wants to have mosquitoes. I did 1 second. Are you doing the da? Yes, I am, and I'll put the details. That on my website later. I do a show in America at midnight, but yes, I do. So, what advert irritates you?
Most of them.
I was just about to say. Right, I like an advert. And not many adverts irritate me because I know that they're a necessary evil. What gets me with adverts is the loudness. So you're watching something and you're enjoying yourself, and it runs into adverts, and then blah. I don't understand why they need to, because I understand they think it's catching my attention, what it's doing is catching my attention in order to press mute. And then I don't listen to any of it. So if there are any...
unless it's got cats on it.
Well, I can watch Cats in Silence. I don't need to hear Whiskers or Felix be mentioned. The fact is, if they've got any big shot advertising people listening to me now, don't turn the volume up. You're not winning viewers. It's becoming an association of anger. So there was a Domino's advert when we were watching Sky, like in between everything, there was always a Domino's advert, and it would make me just angry if I saw a Domino's, which is not the point of advertising. Think about it, people. Would you rather have unlimited international first class tickets or never have to pay for food at restaurants?
Oh, it have to be the never pay. Who wants to fly somewhere?
I'd go for the tickets. I mean, we're not going anywhere until there's a cure. And at the moment, if you go on the government website, you can find a postcode searcher to support your local pubs that are doing the half price meals on, is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays or something? So yeah, they're doing that. But if I never had to pay for food at restaurants, you would have to roll me. I would soon be in one of those wheelchairs, which I didn't need for disability. I need it because I'm tired of walking to food.
Oh, but if you went to those really, really lovely plush restaurants,
I'd still order more. I'd still order more.
Bits.
Mum, you know what I'm like. I'll order 3 bread rolls with it. I can't go to a restaurant and have a salad. I'll have a salad and a garlic bread. I can't. There has to be a certain requirement of carbs needed. But I would love international first class tickets. Yeah, of course I would. I'd go everywhere. But once there's a cure. Tips on becoming an HGV driver, and that's not being sent to me as the last Lucy question, but in the last 2 weeks I've had emails or messages of people asking advice, and the first thing I do is send away for your provisional, because the way the DVLA is running at the moment, you'll get it back in 2024. And then once you've got your provisional, if you're a lady, you can join or identify as, you can become a mother trucker, all one word, and that's on Facebook. For everybody, male and female, I would join TruckNet, and that's a website, a UK website. And I would advise you, don't go to an agency. Have a look on Yell. Just type in your postcode, maybe around 20 miles or something. Ring all of them and talk to them all and see how many hours you get, if it's 1-to-1 or whether there'd be 3 or 4. You don't be sat in a truck stop whilst 2 other people go out, because that's part of your day. Sometimes you can learn more from being like 2 learners in a cab so that you can watch each other. 1 second. Lucy is the one who's so curious. Yeah. And you want to know whether or not they can get good test dates. You want to know whether or not what sort of equipment they're using, whether or not they include the CPC, etc., etc. And you can have a look at the best dates. If you go for an agency, you can pay up to £1,000 more than you don't need. And then moving on to the plug section. I realised that wasn't very loud. Plug section. So, for the plug section, in case you're wondering what to do this week, you can watch me. If you get in touch with Lucy Orchard Comedy, message me. I can send you the links. Unfortunately, it's a private Zoom show, and bad people have spammed it in the past, so you'd need to get in touch and ask for the link for that. But I am fortunate enough to be 7:30 tomorrow night. I've wangled my way onto the open mic night for a G&B Comedy, which is a very famous comedy club in London. It would cost me over 100 quid just to get there for this. And I'm very fortunate that they've they usually only put people on that they know, but I think maybe because I begged and begged and begged and sent in a million links, they let me. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. And also every Sunday at 8:30, it's the Nodding Dog new online comedian of the year. So that is mainly for new comedians, and it's heat 3 this week. There's 6 heats. I'm in heat 6, and there'll be 2 winners from each heat that go on to the final. And it's really good. It's really good to see the new and the not new acts coming up doing that competition. So it's brilliant. It's from people of my experience, just a few months into, really good established comedians. So you get to see the mix. So that's, fair play. It's really, most competitions have stopped, obviously, because the comedy clubs have stopped. So, but the fact is, there's an online competition. So that's brilliant. If I win, you know what I'm like, I'll waste that money on my MOT. And then Thursday at 6 p.m. On twitch.tv/TKitchenSink, also powered by Joke Pit Live, so you'll be able to see it on there. But this week we've got Stefan Allen, who is going to be joining us on the sink. And like I said, we'll be reviewing Mike Birbiglia. I can do it. I hope his jokes are easy to understand, because I clearly can't say his name. But that's brilliant. And then the last thing I want to promote is, if you want something to listen to, the You Suck, US-UK, the You Suck podcasting network. I'm on the Weekly Bazaar, which is the centre one, which comes out every Friday. You've got Jamie and Tom that do superhero bar fights, where they come up with these silly, like who would win against like the Lion King or the Tiger King. That's it. Who would, and for my episode, it was that. And I hoped that Simba or Mustafa just ate that prick's face off, because I'm not a big fan of animal cruelty or laughing about it. And then what's the difference between Al and Tom? So that's Tom in the US of A, Al over here, having a good chat about the differences in the US of A and Britain. And they're a ruddy, lovely bunch of guys. And then last plug, I don't know if you've noticed, but you can always nominate me for the Funny Women Awards Best Web Series. The nominations are now open, and I will continue to plug that until it ends. So yes, thank you very much. Now, we had quite a few answers in last week for the Show It All section. So this is time for the Show It All game. So winners will, what you got to do is you've got to share this video and get 3 or more questions right. And nobody got 3 questions right, but good try. So the poster, the handmade crafts, Arts and Crafts poster, and there's a big space just here for your name, and I'll send it you because it's going to be cheap because it's a piece of paper. So let's start with the answers from last week. And it is, so last week, it was name an animal that was mentioned in the village update. Now, you could have had mink, weasel, stoat, chicken, cat, or wolf cub. That one, everyone got right. Many answers from truck drivers on this one, and they didn't get it right. All right, and I'm just going to say that as this is my question, and I am the quiz master, what I say goes. All right, so the question was, how many wheels are on an 8-wheeler? And for those of you that wrote in 12, you forgot the steering wheel. It was 13. I'm a little shit when I want to be. And I'm ashamed of the truck drivers that forgot about that. Unbelievably or not, the worst reviewed show was the one that got the most answers last week. Name a show mentioning a TV that I mentioned in the TV and radio section. You all got in Van der Valk, which means for the first time that show made it fucking interesting.
Oh, we're going up on that one.
We absolutely slated that fucking TV show, but you all got it right for the Show It All section. And the last question was, when I recently mentioned a family from The Simpsons, name one of the characters. It was the Bouvier family I had mentioned because of Julie Kavanagh doing the voiceover. And the answer was Patty, Selma, or Marge. So you didn't get it right, but the one person who got the most right answers was Mrs. Trevellis. So, little round the horn joke there. So for this week's questions, I'm just going to get everyone, let you get a pen and paper. Oh, booming shot. Take a shot. So what, and the best thing is Mum doesn't know about this, but question number 1, What is our catchphrase when my sound engineer is on screen? Question number 1.
I can't say the answer, otherwise people will know it, won't they? I can't give them.
Honestly, I sometimes wonder if I should share my notes with her. If you didn't get that right, boys and girls, shame on you. Shame on you. Question number 2. Which country did I mention in my stuff from my room section? Right, question number 3. How do I start the show? Number 4. In the village update, I mentioned I've become addicted. I don't know what question that's for. Is that for us, Lucy?
What's it say?
Who are you? Right. Okay. First of all, I can't comment on that, Ray, due to the fact I'm in the competition. All right, love. As usual, is my brother helping?
No.
Or is he giving you a red herring?
Oh. He
Okay.
does that a lot.
So the questions were, what is our catchphrase when my sound engineer is seen on screen? Question number 2. What country is mentioned in my stuff from my room section? Question 3. How do I start the show? And 4. Hang on, Mum, you said you couldn't see the comments.
Well, I don't know whether it's the same one as you.
Yeah.
Is it Noel?
Name an app I'm addicted to. And this is what my brother has sent in is my answer. I think he's confused. I think he's thinking of the chicken that's missing in the other village. And in fairness, I don't start the show, but how do I start the show? The questions are for me because it's my show, Noel, so stop ruining my show or I'll tell Mum. Yes, and don't be crude. So all you've got to do, I will post these 3 questions on Lucy Orchard Comedy, right? And you just need to send me at least 3 correct answers and share this video, all right? So, I mean, come on. Big shout out to Paul Dennis, who said he'd be watching this on Catch Up. Code word, banana. If you're watching this and you do watch this on Catch Up, I'll know. He's got a thing to do, but he'll watch it on Catch Up. So if you message me, Paul.
What's more important?
Banana. I don't know. He's very busy. He's almost as busy as I am. It's ridiculous. He's either doing stuff in his studio, writing music, doing a podcast. I mean, and Paul will be bringing his famous comedy show, Comedy Club 2 online. And I will be giving him a big plug when he starts that up. I think that's Duck Phaser. So we move on to Poet's Corner. All right. Always a little bit of a poem or a bit of stand-up at the end. So are you settling down, kids? Because I will begin. So this is called I Have to Go Out. I have to go out. I'm full of dread. I have to go out. Can't I hide in my shed? I've stayed at home. I've been really good. But it's time to venture out. I'm out cat food. I hear tales of panic, of hoarding, of pillage. It's been 3 months since I've left my village. Mum's feeling ill, so I'm going alone. I'm lucky I can stay inside, so I'll never moan. The reports are scary, watching the news, but I have to go out for the cats and some booze. There are dickheads out there, and they're going to beaches and coasts, and they're stupid enough to put it on Facebook posts. I haven't been delivered my sourdough starter kit because I'm not selfish enough to order non-essential shit. Yes, I could get some poor bugger to bring me some stuff, but you're endangering lives, and enough is enough. So on with the shoes and the gloves and the mask. Just get in the car, complete this bloody task. This is my Agincourt, my Rorke's Drift, my hour. Mum's really depending on me to go find some flour. I need to stop fretting and go out in the lands. I hope there are facilities for washing my hands. Right, I'm ready, I'm off, I'm charging onwards to hell. I'm ready for anything now I've got my hand gel. Thank you very much. I do like to write my poetry, I does. And now we're moving on to, we're wrapping up to the end of the section. So here's for the thank you section. Right, so I want to be a big thanks to Jim, our next door neighbour, for helping me out with an emergency lift to the train station. I sat in the back with my face mask on as if I was some sort of lady. Oh, take that down, because always support your local pub. I want to say thank you very much to Celeste Stevens for being a pal. I'd like to thank Sam and Dave for being my mates in the village. We saw each other briefly for a socially distant pint in a very nice, responsible hostelry. Hostelry? Yes. And I'd like to say thank you for my brother for being the best big bro there is and joining in the show every week. And a big hello and thank you to Kane from Joke Pit for being a legend and helping me get everything all set up. And a big thank you, as always. We're going to have to share the seat. We're going to have to share the seat, Chris.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. So the thing is as well, I will try and put this in. There are new ways to support me. So if you would like to go to jokepit.com and you put my name in, Lucy Orchard, you can buy me a G&T. We've moved on from coffee. Come on, Mum, you can get...
Because it's not exciting enough.
No, we've moved on from coffee. So please feel free. Oh, thank you very much, Ray. Pamez, watch out. I don't think she needs to fear much from me. But yes, it's been absolutely brilliant. I'm a very lucky girl. And I can't believe it's week 15. So please give this video a share and a like. I will see you again next week at 9. For those of you that want to play Show It All, I'll put the questions on Lucy Orchard Comedy. But all I go to say is thank you very much. And let's have a little dance. Thanks, Mum. Mwah.
Love you, Noel. I always say that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, obviously. But please.
I see you every day.
I'll see you. So thank you very much. See you next week. See you next Tuesday. Say it, Mum.
No, I will not. I will see you all next week.
Ba-da-da. Ba-da. Ba-da. Ba-da.